While most professionals in the UK are drowning in mountains of spreadsheets and mammoth reports, the greatest detective in history cracked the most complicated mysteries by simply ignoring 99% of the noise. The real secret to processing data at lightning speed isn't reading faster, it's training your AI to observe things exactly the way Sherlock Holmes did. Today, we're going to break down the 4 deductive protocols that will turn your information overload into instant, strategic answers. Right, let's get straight into the rules of the method. Topic 1. Observation versus mere seeing. The elimination of noise. When the legendary detective of Baker Street told his poor old Dr. Watson, with more than a hint of disdain, that he merely saw things rather than truly observing them, he was putting his finger right on the gaping wound of the modern workplace, in the buzzing offices of the City of London, or in corporate corridors up and down the UK. The overwhelming majority of professionals spend precious hours a day, passively scrolling through endless spreadsheets and bulging inboxes, naively believing that counts as analyzing data. The hard truth is that trying to absorb every single line of raw information with no filtering criteria whatsoever does nothing but knacker your mental capacity and grind your decision-making to a halt. Real strategic intelligence isn't about the sheer volume of reading you rack up over the week, it's about your deliberate ability to elegantly bin the surface-level noise before you even get started. To flip this dynamic properly in your favor, you need to stop acting like a passive reader and start setting up your AI to act as a ruthless investigative filter. Instead of opening a 50-page financial report and trying to plow through it start to finish, give the tool direct exclusion commands, demanding it isolate only the glaring inconsistencies or the cost spikes from last quarter. Brilliant books on high-level decision-making like Adam Grant's Think Again show with almost mathematical precision how the habit of questioning assumptions and cutting the fat protects the mind from fatigue and sharpens the intuition of top leaders. When you apply that surgical rigor to your everyday digital tools, all the time you'd have wasted on pointless reading simply vanishes, letting you see the big picture with startling clarity. By adopting this refined stance of selective observation, your mind gets precious breathing room to focus purely on the strategic opportunities that most people walk straight past without noticing. This shift in mindset is exactly what separates the easily replaceable professionals from the indispensable specialists who spot the solution in a matter of seconds. That said, managing to filter out the raw noise is only the first step on this journey to analytical mastery, because once you've isolated the right data, you need somewhere spartan to organize it and connect it all instantly. Topic 2. The Mind Palace Architecture, Structuring Unstructured Data. The real secret behind Sherlock Holmes's lightning-fast reasoning wasn't some miraculous memory. It was the meticulous construction of his famous Mind Palace, a mental filing system where every single fact had its own strictly defined place. In today's corporate world, piling up hundreds of disorganized PDFs on your desktop or hoarding scattered meeting notes is the fastest route to cognitive chaos and downright inefficiency. Even the most advanced AI loses almost all of its game-changing power when it's fed a jumbled heap of raw data with no logical structure behind it to pull brilliant answers out in a matter of seconds. The modern professional needs to learn how to build a clean knowledge architecture, turning loose files into an integrated base you can access at any moment. In practice, you can build your own digital mind palace using modern productivity ecosystems that link your notes directly to language models. Knowledge management platforms like Notion or Obsidian are perfect for this, letting you sort projects, goals, and client histories into properly structured databases. Tiago Forte's acclaimed book Building a Second Brain walks you through, step by step, how to organize your digital life using the para method, making sure any important bit of information is only ever a couple of clicks away. When you feed your AI through this well-defined interconnected network, the machine stops guessing at generic answers and starts correlating your data with pinpoint precision. By structuring your information within this refined environment, your ability to pull up complex context in real time becomes practically a superpower in the British corporate market. This smart organization saves hours of exhausting digging around and sets the perfect stage for high-level strategic decisions to be made without a moment's hesitation. Still, having a perfectly tidy mind palace won't count for much if you don't know exactly how to interrogate your sources to dig the truth out from behind the numbers. Topic 3. Deductive Prompting, Eliminating the Impossible. Sherlock Holmes's most famous axiom holds that once you've eliminated everything that's impossible, whatever's left, however improbable, must be the truth. In today's data-driven market, the biggest failing among professionals is asking AI tools vague, open-ended questions and getting back nothing but shallow answers and generic hallucinations in return. The real art of rapid analytical thinking demands that you apply the deductive method to your prompting process, imposing strict constraints and clear exclusion rules. Rather than asking for a broad analysis of your market, you should be forcing the machine to rule out wrong hypotheses and stress-test edge cases, pinpointing the root cause of a problem with mathematical precision. To master this advanced level of communicating with algorithms, all you need is a command structure built on negation and elimination criteria. When analyzing, say, a drop in customer retention, tell the AI to first rule out seasonal factors and standard pricing shifts, and focus purely on product anomalies. The masterpiece on logical reasoning and decision-making, Thinking, Fast and Slow by Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman does a brilliant job of exploring how to work around cognitive biases and stick to objective analysis. When you steer your prompts along these tight logical rails, the technology acts like an elite detective, handing you refined insights the competition wouldn't stand a chance of spotting. This ability to guide AI along strict deductive reasoning paths saves precious mental energy and gives your strategic value in the boardroom a proper boost. Instead of wasting time on baseless guesswork, you start anchoring your decisions in certainties built through systematic elimination. That said, even the most brilliant deductive reasoning needs nimble hands and sharp eyes out in the field, gathering clues in record time. Topic 4. The Baker Street Irregulars deploying specialized AI agents. In the classic pages of Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes would often call on the Baker Street Irregulars, a gang of highly agile lads who scoured every corner of London to bring back information the detective couldn't gather on his own. In the modern corporate world, the truly brilliant professional doesn't try to handle every analytical task solo. Instead, they orchestrate a network of specialized virtual agents to cover different fronts of the business at once. Rather than relying on a single AI window to sort out every problem, the elite strategy is to delegate specific roles. One agent trained strictly to read financial statements, another to audit contracts, and a third to keep tabs on the competition. To put this digital task force into practice in your day-to-day, whether you're in London or Edinburgh, you can build custom virtual assistants using platforms like Claude, ChatGPT, or automated workflows and make when setting up an agent focused purely on reading client reports. For instance, give it strict guidelines on tone of voice and the key points to pull out, letting it work through dozens of documents while you focus on strategy. Kai-Fu Lee's excellent book AI Superpowers shows with real clarity how smart automation and specialized agents are redefining productivity and competitive edge on the global stage. When you split the analytical workload across different trained assistants, the volume of data you get through grows exponentially without you needing to work a single extra hour a day. Building this personal intelligence network lets you step fully into the role of strategic commander, overseeing operations from above while the tech does all the heavy lifting of investigation. This lean, highly efficient approach protects your time and lifts your mental clarity to a level that's simply out of reach for anyone still insisting on doing it all by hand. And it's precisely once you've pulled together all these pillars of deduction, structure, and delegation that we're fully ready to lock in this transformation and wrap up our learning cycle. Conclusion. Understanding Sherlock Holmes's refined logic for processing data with AI won't be worth a thing if you wake up tomorrow and open your spreadsheets the same passive way you always have. Real mastery in the job market demands a cool, calculated, immediately practical approach to cutting out the noise and focusing solely on what actually creates value. Why keep playing the exhausted professional, buried under endless reports in the City of London or anywhere else in the UK, when you now hold the very framework of some of history's sharpest minds? It's time to stop reacting to an absurd flood of information and start filtering the chaos with the precision of a true master of deduction. I'll leave you with one direct thought to chew on before you finish this video. If you keep handling your daily flow of data and tasks in exactly the same way you did last week, what state will your mental clarity and your career be in a year from now? Are you going to keep sacrificing your health and free time just to look busy reading irrelevant documents? Or are you finally ready to take control of your workflow and decide with real authority? The leaders genuinely shaping the future of business aren't impressed by mountains of data. They build smart systems to extract the truth in seconds and act with total command. The final call is entirely yours, but remember, tomorrow's success depends on the analytical choices you make today. If you're determined to bulletproof your mind, master the best productivity methods, and keep unpacking these deep strategic frameworks, now's the perfect moment to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. By joining our community today, you'll make sure you never miss a single one of our weekly tactical guides on peak performance, artificial intelligence, and professional sovereignty. Don't let this knowledge slip away in the rush of your day. Restructure your method of analysis right now. Apply the protocol of deduction, and we'll see you in the next video.